I'm going to go with two quarterbacks, and I think I'm going to probably go with two tight ends.
Two tight ends?
I think so, because I mean, I did a 53, and we can go through it, but my 53, it's really, really, really hard to get to 53.
Who's going to play the third tight end? You know they use stuff like that, though, Larry. They use double tight. They use a lot of double tight formations and stuff. You can't literally have 100% of your room on the floor, on the field in one formation.
Well, here would be my thought on it, is that I'm going to keep Garendo, and I have Juszczyk, and I have JJ. So I feel like I'm covered with a blocker with Saubert, and I don't really love the other receiving tight ends. We can get to it right here. I'm not a big Latu fan. I thought he had his best game yesterday. I'm not a big Willis fan after watching him just get clowned as a blocker. Tongus has had the best camp, but I don't think he's NFL, to be completely blunt about it. And then Logan Thomas is just a guy. Mason Pline got no run. It's clear to me they want to practice squad him. So I think it's this is just a quick breakdown. I went two quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 2 tight ends, 6 wide receivers, 9 O-linemen, 3 specialists. I have 9 D linemen right now, but I think I'd like to have one more. 6 linebackers, 4 safeties, and that gets us to corner where, I want to go with 7, and the numbers don't add up. You need to cut at least one more guy from the roster to get to 7. But I have Ward, Lenore, Green as my starters.
Okay.
Yadam, Yasin, Womack, and Luter. And the only guy that's good that I'm cutting is Ambry.
I would get rid of Womack too and keep Luter.
See, I want Luter and Womack.
I mean, I think Sammy got himself cut yesterday.
I know he got that burned late. He got burned late for that touchdown.
Yeah, and then also just to read the tea leaves a little bit, Larry. They just re-signed Logan Thomas after letting him go, so there's no way they're keeping 2 tight ends.
I know. See, what did you make of that? Why did they let him go? If they love this guy so much, why did they let him go?
Well, in hindsight, I think that maybe they believe that they already had what they needed in the tight end room, and as time progressed throughout camp, they realized like this ain't it. We're not, because for what it's worth, and this goes to show you how non-biased I can be. Cam Latu. If there's any type of honesty on this team, Ken Latu does not make this team this year. He is not.
Oh, come on. He can't make it.
He's shown no consistency, and that's my guy too, but he's shown no consistency.
No urgency. I think he just lacks urgency.
Yeah, and Brayden Willis, I mean, they've almost given up on him at tight end. They're trying to get him.
Coach, he got bounced around as a blocker.
He's got no base. He's got no anchor.
Base, no anchor.
Yeah,
that's the way to say it. He's got no ability to sink his hips
and root himself into the ground, and be a force. Like he gets moved, like at
a wide receiver.
He's on skates. Yeah. And on top of it is that he has like really no, like his spatial awareness is like really off. Like he'll reach a guy and like he doesn't know where he's at on the field. His spacing is always off as far as juxtaposed to like guys next to him. He's always running into his own players. Anyway, but so that's 2 guys that are off the list, right? Pline is an NFL tight end. He's not ready. Right.
I mean, I think he is an NFL tight end, but he's a
year away.
He's clearly ticketed for the practice squad.
Right. Clearly. What I mean by not an NFL tight end is he's a year away. Right. So Pline's a year away. Latu no. Willis no. It's Saubert, Tongus, and George. Now we know Tongus is borderline.
Played really well this summer, but he's just thin. He's light. Yeah, he doesn't anchor. He's just not great at anything.
Yeah, he's light in the ass. He ain't got his man body yet. So Tungus isn't gonna make it. Saubert's a good guy, but that's basically a glorified Charlie Warner. Right?
He's a blocker. Yeah, I mean, he's a blocker. He's
right.
slow. He's slow.
He's so slow. Did you see him on that out route catch in the red, trying to catch the ball in the red zone? That 2-yard out route he picked up. I mean, that thing was like watching paint dry. It took him forever to get out there.
Seriously,
but
he's slow.
He's a slow boy. So Saubert, George, you got to have Logan. You can't count on Latu, Pline, or who's the other kid? Latu, Pline, or Tungus. You can't count on him.
I mean, I would say this to me, this is Kittle's going to make the roster. Sauerbert's going to be probably your number 2 because he can block.
Right.
Line is your designated practice squad guy. I think everybody else is cut or traded. I do think that this position coach is one of the, 2 or 3 that the 49ers will be looking around the league to see who else gets cut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's tight ends they loved in the draft. There's tight ends they loved in free agency. There's tight ends on other teams. They're you try to get the deepest, best roster you can for camp. But if you can't, you get what you can get. They didn't have a great tight end room. It was just an okay tight end room. I personally would be okay with 2 tight ends because you are giving a roster spot to both Juszczyk and Garendo. So it's like one of those guys who's 220 pounds should be able to play tight end, or JJ should be able to flex out and use him as the, flexed out Ross Dwelly tight end, the move tight end, and then use one of those other receivers. Maybe you go one more receiver because you're going to use JJ in that manner. I'll be looking at the cut down, for rookies, for guys that I liked on other teams, and I think they will be too. I just think one area.
It'd be a little.
They need to go too.
Making them inline, making Juice and Garendo inline blockers. I think that hurt them. Putting their coming from the backfield, 4 to 5 yards from space, and blocking at an angle, trying to beat a guy to the point of attack, and we're stretching the ball. That's one thing, right? Bending back to catch up trash on the backside of a counter, and you're coming from space. That's a whole different ball game. But blocking a man from zero who is either standing up 3 yards over top of you or 1 yard away from your face, and you got to actually move him off the line of scrimmage, that's 2 different universes. I don't think that Isaac Garendo, Jawan Jennings, or Juice are ready for that type of world. To literally be 6 inches away from Colton McKivitz or Trent, when they split and their hand in the dirt, they get blown up. It's a different ball game. It's only 3 yards, but it's a whole different world from the backfield to the line of scrimmage. I just don't. It'd be hard. It'd be a hard ask.